So it looks like we may get to see the Laletin versus Vitaly super match sooner than we thought, in May 2025 to be precise. Let's discuss the important and interesting highlights from the recent Michael Todd and Ermes Gasparini interview. Michael said that his current early morning weight is about 310 pounds. He showed a video where he weighed 318 pounds, but that was during the night with about 5 pounds of clothing. But still, one thing is pretty clear, that this 140 kilo shape of Michael is the best that we have ever seen. It's the best that Michael has ever seen. And in all of the arm wrestling specific lifts, he is the strongest that he has ever been, except for only the pronation lift. And I'm quite sure he can beat that record too. He's just not trying at this moment. Michael used to say that for the Laletin Saginashvili super match, if and when it happens, he will only consider himself in the best shape of his career if he not only beats all of his records in arm wrestling specific lifts, but in general lifts as well. So the bench presses, the deadlifts, etc. So far, he has been able to do that only for the arm wrestling specific lifts. But for this match, he still considers himself in the best shape that he has ever been. I think Ermes has to beat me relatively quickly or get me in a really bad position very fast and then work from there. If he can't do one of those two things, I believe I am going to win, even if it is a long match. Ermes has his match winning strategy planned out in his mind, just like their previous match which happened 7 or 8 years ago. If that strategy got him a couple of rounds, then it can surely get him 4 rounds in this match as well. It's just a question of whether he is strong enough to do that or not. But in that match, we saw some flop presses. Michael is saying that now he is unpressable. You cannot beat him with a flop press. You need to have your hand control, otherwise it will be time over for everyone. Gennady cannot flop press him, Jerry cannot flop press him, and Laletin cannot flop press him. If you try to flop press me, to pin me, you're falling in a trap and you're gonna lose. This is what he said directly to Ermes Gasparini. Michael also said that his chances of winning from bad positions are much higher than Ermes Gasparini's chances of winning from bad positions. Michael can win from anywhere, but if he's on the offensive side, Ermes has no chance. And he himself said that yes, Ermes did really well against Laletin in defensive position, but Michael is not going to let that happen. And when Michael was saying that he cannot be flop pressed, I was thinking about the Gennady Quickvinia match. Didn't Michael lose a couple of rounds with a flop press against Gennady? Well, as soon as I was thinking that, Michael himself clarified it by saying that he lost to a press because he tried to transition to a press of his own. If he tried, he could have held Gennady for as long as he wanted in that open arm top roll position. And this time the fans are really appreciating Michael's strong mindset. His mindset not just about competing on the table, but also how he is handling things online, not letting the comments against him, which seem to have almost disappeared now because people have really liked to see Michael. Michael is handling that pretty good. While Michael is training mostly to increase his power for this upcoming match and not at all for his cardio, Ermes on the other hand believes that cardio is going to be the biggest deciding factor of this match, and he's training that more than anything else except for his hand and wrist maybe. Ermes believes that his endurance is already twice as good as it was few years ago. He's been doing isometric training, some table training, and mostly endurance work. So now let's get to the Vitaly versus Laletin topic. Why did I say that we may see this match in May this year? Well, at first I assumed that it was Michael who asked Engin to have some more time before he gets his Laletin match after defeating Ermes Gasparini. Why? Because Devon Larratt suggested him to do that. But in fact, it wasn't Michael. It was Ermes Gasparini who asked Engin to have some rest time, to have some time to recover after defeating Michael, and maybe let Laletin have another match before he gives Ermes his opportunity for the title shot. I personally believe that Ermes is about 65% favorite to defeat Michael, and if that happens, then we will see the Laletin versus Vitaly match as per Engin Terzi in May this year. So it is happening sooner than we thought. The only thing that can put the brakes on that, and I would like to see that, is Michael beating Ermes Gasparini.
No chance Michael to beat. Only maybe with the endurance, with this fucking keep move, but too smart. too much quality.
So another question which comes to my mind, why does Ermes wants this rest period? Like, is he really sure that this match is going to be really taxing on his body? Which makes sense, like it is not really easy to beat Michael easy, like it is always a long match. But then can it be because Ermes wants to shut people up who are saying that Vitaly can already beat Ermes? Is he secretly hoping that Vitaly beats Levan and then he can have an easier match to become the #1 guy in the world by beating Vitaly Laletin, who he already knows how to beat? These are just speculations, mostly not true, because when Ermes became the East versus West champion without defeating Levan, he himself said that he doesn't feel like a champion unless he beats Levan Saginachvili first. So what are your thoughts about these subjects? Please mention in the comments, like the video, and I'll see you again.